Are you ready for some shocking news about one of the most iconic teams in Formula One? Well, hold on to your seats, because Ferrari's 2023 season has gotten off to a rocky start, and the reasons behind it are leaving fans stunned. But don't worry, we'll be breaking it all down and discussing their chances for the rest of the year. So, let's get started and find out what's going on with the prancing horse this season. It's been a rocky start to the 2023 season for Ferrari, the sport's most iconic team. After a disappointing 2022 campaign, the Italian team went through some major changes in the off-season, but it seems like they're still struggling to find their way back to the top. Let's face it, Ferrari's recent performances have been nothing short of a disaster. Despite having one of the most talented drivers on the grid in Charles Leclerc, they're still struggling to keep up with the likes of Red Bull and Mercedes. It's time to ask the question, is Ferrari's reign as a dominant force in Formula One over? The team's decision to remove Mattia Binotto from his role as team principal was a bold move, but it hasn't paid off yet. The hiring of Frédéric Vasseur was seen as a step in the right direction, but it seems like there are still some major issues within the team. The lack of reliability and strategic errors that plagued them last season are still present, and it's starting to look like Ferrari's problems run deeper than just a change in leadership. To make matters worse, their main rival Red Bull has only gotten stronger, with Max Verstappen dominating the first two races of the season. It's clear that Ferrari has a lot of work to do if they want to catch up and compete for the championship. But is it too late for Ferrari to make a comeback? Some argue that their glory days are over and that they'll never be able to regain their dominance in the sport. Others believe that with the right leadership and strategy, they can still turn things around. Well, the opening two races of 2023 have shown that their reliability issues are far from over, and it's a cause for concern for the team and their fans. Now let's take a closer look at the situation. Charles Leclerc's retirement in the first race due to an issue with his control electronics unit was a massive blow to the team, and it was unexpected. He received a 10-place grid penalty in Saudi Arabia for using a third control electronics unit, which means he's already used his allocated 2 units for the season. It's not looking good for Ferrari at this point. Ferrari's team principal, Frédéric Vasseur, has admitted that the Bahrain issue was unexpected and that changing the engine was necessary to start from a clean sheet. But even with a new engine, their uncertainty over their reliability issues was further evidenced by the fact that both Leclerc and Sainz had to use entirely new power units in Saudi Arabia. But some fans and experts argue that Ferrari's problems run deeper than just reliability. After a rocky start to the 2022 season, many have speculated that Ferrari's F175 might be a flop. But hold your horses, because there's more to this story than meets the eye. The SF23 might have beaten the F175 in the first 2 races of the season. But let's not forget that Ferrari was plagued by reliability issues in Bahrain. Nevertheless, Charles Leclerc was on track for a podium finish before his retirement, and Carlos Sainz was able to secure a respectable 5th-place finish. Despite their disappointing result in Saudi Arabia, where they finished behind both Mercedes cars and Fernando Alonso's Aston Martin, Ferrari's team boss, Frédéric Vasseur, remains optimistic. He's confident that they can turn things around by adjusting their car's setup and overcoming their struggles with tire degradation and dirty air. But Carlos Sainz hints that their biggest challenge lies in following other cars. He claims that they struggle to maintain their pace and tire degradation when in the wake of their competitors. If they can't follow the other cars closely, then it'll be challenging for them to make any significant overtaking maneuvers. So, is the F175 actually quick? Well, we can't deny that when the engine is turned up, it's pretty darn fast. But there's no denying that they're currently in a battle for 2nd place with Aston Martin and Mercedes, not challenging for the Constructors' Championship. After a promising start to the season, it looked like Ferrari had finally sorted out their reliability issues. However, their strategy blunders continue to haunt them, as a miscommunication during the safety car period cost Charles Leclerc a place to Lewis Hamilton and left him stuck behind his teammate Carlos Sainz for the rest of the race. It's not the first time Ferrari has made such mistakes this season, with Leclerc losing out on a podium in Saudi Arabia due to a poorly timed pit stop. While team principal Frederic Vasseur attempted to downplay the incident, it's clear that these strategic shortcomings are becoming a growing concern for the team. So what's the root of the problem? Is it a lack of communication between the engineers and the drivers? Or is it a failure to react quickly to changing race situations? Whatever the case may be, Ferrari needs to address these issues if they hope to compete with the likes of Mercedes and Red Bull. After a disappointing start to the season, Ferrari decided to part ways with team principal Mattia Binotto, a decision that proved to be controversial given Binotto's popularity within the team. Now, just a few races into the new season, there are already signs that his departure has had an impact on the team. Head of Vehicle Concept David Sanchez has already left Ferrari to join rival team McLaren, a move that suggests all is not well behind the scenes. Meanwhile, there have been rumors about the future of Laurent Mekies, Ferrari's racing director, but team principal Frederic Vasseur insists that Mekies is staying put. Despite his easygoing approach to the sport, Vasseur acknowledges that the task of restoring Ferrari to greatness may be bigger than he anticipated. He's now focused on improving the team's performance and getting them back on track. This is the question on every Ferrari fan's mind after a rocky start to the F1 season. With just one race down and 22 to go, there's plenty of time for the prancing horse to gallop back to glory. And if you're a glass half full kind of person, you'll be happy to know that the season is longer than ever before, with 23 races to be shown live on Sky Sports. Let's take a look at the positives. Yes, Ferrari had a control electronics failure in Bahrain, but they've got that under control now. And according to team principal Fred Vasseur, they now understand their general lack of performance and are working hard to address it. They'll be bringing some small updates to the next race in Australia, and then they'll have a month-long break before the next race in Imola. This break could be just what the doctor ordered for Ferrari and the rest of the chasing pack. It'll give them time to regroup, rethink, and hopefully make some gains on Red Bull. But Vasseur is not one to rest on his laurels. He knows that they need to keep pushing, keep working hard, and keep focused on themselves. We have to be focused on ourselves, but we know where we are weak and have to improve on it, said Vasseur. We'll see what the outcome is when we take a decent step. The main issue we have today is to be at a maximum throughout the weekend. We're not able to extract 100% of the car in every single session. We have to be focused on this before we can talk about updates. It's clear that Vasseur has his work cut out for him. The tifosi, the passionate fans of Ferrari, are expecting big things from him. But the man known as Laughing Fred Vasseur is up for the challenge. He may be easygoing, but he's also determined and focused. And by the time the F1 season arrives in Imola for the Emilia-Romagna GP in mid-May, we'll see evidence of his impact. So is there still hope for Ferrari in 2023? Absolutely. It's early days yet, and there's still plenty of time to turn things around. The prancing horse may have stumbled out of the gate, but they're still in the race. And with Vasseur at the helm, anything is possible. Thanks for tuning in to today's analysis of Ferrari's tough start to the 2023 season. But don't count them out just yet. With a skilled driver lineup, a seasoned technical team, and a dedication to always improve, Ferrari has the potential to turn things around and compete for victories once again. So, stay tuned for more updates and insights as the season progresses. And if you don't want to miss a beat, be sure to like and subscribe for more exciting F1 content.